Just how a family road trip turned into me spraying baby gravy all over a rental car. So, for a little bit of background here, this would have been in about 6th grade for me, and my entire family was on this road trip to Portland, Oregon, and like my grandma worked at this car dealership, so she got us a good ass deal on this big rental van. Like it had fucking 4 rows of seats behind the driver's seat. So like this thing felt like the fucking battle bus to 6th grade me. And we were about 5 hours into our like drive back into town from Portland, and it was just me and my little sister in the back seat, and she was like 3 feet away from me. Randomly on this drive, I just get more fucking bricked than the fucking border between the US and Mexico. Like this shit was acting like an untrained fucking dog just jumping up and on you, you know, like down boy down. It's just not going anywhere. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck, like I'm not dealing with this right now. And so I was just like looking out the window trying to pass time. It'd been like 30 fucking minutes and that shit was still there. There was so much blood up in my shit. I thought it was about to start throwing up some gang signs. And so I start looking around. That's when I realized that my sister threw up her own fort like around her, was just doing her own thing on the other side of the car. And that's when 6th grade me's mind starts going. I'm like, hold up. If I'm in the back seat in a moving car on the freeway and my sister popped up a fort, what's stopping me from popping up my own fort? So one thing leads to a fucking another. I start fucking acting like Bear Grylls or something. I start fucking building up my own little shelter in the back seat out of pillows and fucking blankets. And that's when you start thinking, morally, should I smack my shit right now? Like, you fucking tried to wait it out, but morally, this should not be happening. You know, you're in a fucking car with your entire family, but 6th grade me was listening to the demons and ended up just fucking slapping that shit. And all I'm gonna say is after I popped up my little fort, that was the only thing popped up anymore. And I just had to fucking pull up my pants and sit with that fucking baby gravy and sorrow and dread and fucking post-nut clarity for the rest of the fucking drive home. Next like 3-4 hours, maybe even 5. That's when post-nut really fucking hits you, slaps you across the face, fucking like a semi-truck fucking hit me. I mean, like, in the car with your entire family, there's fucking 4 generations, well, technically now 5 generations in that car. Like, damn, you're going to hell, man.
What if I told you that if you took Zins for the first time, you might find yourself shirtless in your friend's upstairs bathroom trying to figure out if you're gonna shit or puke?
Well, what if I told you you don't need to do Zins to experience that? What if I told you you just need some huckleberry vodka and Irish cream? What if I told you that that would get you completely naked on the bathroom floor, switching from shitting to puking back and forth? What if I told you that shit would have you completely unconscious on the ground, not even being able to reach the fan to the bathroom to be able to drain the bad energy out of there? What if I told you that shit would have your entire family and all of your closest friends seeing you completely naked on the ground, including your own mother, little sister, your transgender ex-stepdad, half-sister's real dad, but your mom's ex-husband and current roommate, and all your friends? What if I told you it wasn't fun? What if I told you that happened to me? Is that normal? I mean, do you guys think that that's okay in any way, shape, or form?
What?
Can somebody please explain to me why a little while back, I went to school, right? I pulled up to my first period, and it's a fucking movie class. So I pull up, they turn off the lights, I go straight to sleep. It's 7:40 in the morning. There is no way I'm staying up for that. Next thing you know, like 20 minutes passes probably. All of a sudden, I hear a fucking lockdown siren go off. So I jump up out of my seat like quicker than your World War II veteran grandpa does when he hears you playing Call of Duty in the living room. I'm fucking looking around. This shit had already been going off for like 5 fucking minutes because kids were slamming desks into the door. The white bitches are fucking crying, calling their moms. The anime kid with the fingerless gloves is getting ready to fucking show his true potential in the other corner of the room. And my teacher's just like, everyone calm down, calm down. Like, it's just a drill. It's just a drill. And then he walks over to the fucking corner of the door with his fist just fucking in the balls, peek in the fucking corner, and I'm sitting there. I'm tired as hell. I'm like, this don't seem like no drill, but I don't know. I'm just fucking chilling there. Next thing you know, my teacher, like, the drill ends, and he's just like, all right, guys, it actually was not a drill. There was an active shooter, like, in the building. We had a bunch of cops coming, like, all sorts of stuff, but you guys did great. And so I'm like, it wasn't a drill? You're telling me someone was in here, ready to murk us. Someone was acting like 2018 Prime Ninja in Fortnite, about to squad wipe my fucking class, and you did not tell me. I want to know if somebody's in the building about to fucking kill us. And this isn't even the first time that my school has pulled some shit like this. Fucking like last year or the year before that, in fucking like one of the bathrooms at my school, there was an electrical fire in the fucking vents that was like fuming out of the bathrooms. Like there was more smoke billowing out the fucking girls' bathroom than there is during passing periods when all the chicks are in there chiefing. So I fucking smell this shit from the downstairs. I'm like, what is that? I'm walking up to my next class. There's a fucking vice principal, discipline officer, all security guards, police officers, all just blocking off the hallway going, we got it under control, guys. You're good. Go to class. And I'm like, you're telling me since kindergarten, since preschool. 11 to 12 years of my life, I have been practicing these fire drills. And the moment there is a fire in the building, we don't do anything? What do you mean you have it under control? None of y'all have a single suit on. I don't see a fucking fire extinguisher. I don't even see the janitor over there. You're just sitting there like, you know what? Nah, it'll pass, guys. We're good. We're good. Go to class. Get your learning on. What? I'm gonna fucking sue. Because this is how the first friend I ever had a sleepover with showed me what R. Kelly was famous for and then scarred me for life. It was first grade. My class pal Seth invited me over for a sleepover, so I figured I'd indulge in that. It was my first sleepover I'd ever had, and on the way over there, my mom stopped by the store. She brought me 2 name brand stuffed animals. This was a big deal, seeing how we didn't have too much money. So we pull up to Seth's house. I bring in my stuffed animals. I'm hype as fuck. We're hanging out, whatever. One thing leads to another. We go outside. This dude has a gigantic backyard and one of those fucking playhouses with slides and a swing set. I'm looking at this dude like he's a millionaire, like he just won the lottery or something. Like this is some crazy shit. So I go out there to go play on these swings. I have my stuffed animals with me, so I set them down. I'm playing and shit. And then he's just like, dude, guess what? I'm like, what? He's like, you know what me and my brother do out here? And I'm like, what do you and your brother do out here? He's like, well, we go behind the rock wall of the playhouse and we pee all over it and in the grass instead of going to the bathroom. And I'm like, okay, that's all right, man. Like, you do you. And then he's just like, yeah, you know what else we do? And I'm like, what? He's like, well, I've never done it. But what my brother does is he goes over to that side of the yard where the house can't see you, and he poops in the yard. And then my parents think it's the dog. Huh? And I haven't done it yet, but I'm hoping to do it soon. And I'm like, all right, man, yeah, that's something. And so we skip past that, we just play whatever, end up going inside after a little while. Once we go inside, I realize I forgot my stuffed animals out there. So I fucking run back out there to go grab them. They're right by the playhouse. So I fucking grab them, and they're soaking wet. So I grab them, what the fuck? Like I'm freaking out. And so I'm like looking, I go to just re-grab them, like, why are they wet? And they look soaked. And that's when I look up and see they're under the rock wall. And I'm like, no. Sure enough, I go to smell them. Ugh. Seth pissed all over both of my stuffed animals. And then he comes out, he's like, yeah, I peed on him. And I'm like, why? And he's like, they're by the rock wall. And I'm like, no, they weren't. No, you moved them. He's like, okay, well, I said whatever. Goes inside, take those stuffed animals inside, and then his mom's just like, oh, what's wrong with them? Grabs both of them with her hands. He's like, oh, they're wet. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, no worries. I can just go wash them real quick. And I'm like, all right. So she goes and washes them. My shit's sitting in the washer. I'm traumatized, just sitting there like. And that's when Seth goes to put on a fucking movie. And he chooses no movie other than Wreck-It Ralph, which as a child, for some reason, absolutely terrified me. So I'm watching this movie, and I'm sitting there just genuinely tweaking after Seth scarred me, and we're now watching what in my mind was a terrifying movie. And then they get to like the end scene. My stuffed animals had been washed already. She gave them back, put them with my shit. And it gets the end scene, the scary scene. And for some reason, that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going home. I don't know why pissing on the stuffed animals and all that other stuff isn't what did it. It was like 9 o'clock and we're watching a movie and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going home. So I fucking tell Seth's mom. She hands me the phone. I call up my mom. I'm like, hey, you come pick me up? She's like, it's late as hell. I'm like, can you come pick me up? And she's like, yeah, sure. So she buzzes on over there. I debrief her on the situation. She's like, looks more traumatized than I fucking did. Never saw Seth again. When I got home, I took those stuffed animals I had, gave them straight to my sister. I never touched them again. My sister played around with them for fucking years. Never had a clue in the damn world what happened to those stuffed animals. And she never will. Unless she gets on my TikTok or one of her friends sends her this video, but she might even still have them, to be honest. Disgusting. My grandma caught me taking a blinker at school, but she thought it was just a vape and told my dad. This would have been my sophomore year, and it was just about lunchtime, so I went to go walk to the gas station like across from my school. And this gas station was fucking fiend capital. Worse than the streets of San Francisco. Worse than the fucking black market. Like, you wanted anything, you could find it at this fucking gas station from the kids there. And so, like, outside of this gas station, there's a little area where, like, everyone would chill. Like, it was normally about 20 to 30, sometimes even, like, about 40 kids, like, just chilling at this gas station, chiefing, producing clouds, smoke just puffing out this, billowing out this gas station. And so, there's one day in specific, I go to fucking, like, walk over there. And I didn't have my, like, main homeboy there, so I'm, like, hanging out with some other friends. And so, there was that main group there of all these fucking fiends, like the type of fiends who carry $1 on them just to ask to hit your pen. And so one of my homeboys like, hey, you want to smoke? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, we got to like go walk over here because I'm not trying to have everyone here like suck the soul out of my cart. And I'm like, okay, bet. So me and like some of his other homeboys start walking over to these apartment complexes. And so like there's like these metal things that like are over the car parking areas for like the fucking like people who live at apartments. So we go under that and we start chiefing. I'm hitting the pen. It's one of those ones with like the vibrator bottom, like just a vibrator. And I'd never hit one before. So I'm like, damn, this shit's sick. I have my vape, someone else's vape in my hand, and then a fucking pen in my other hand. So I take a fucking like blinker off this pen and I start like hitting my nick afterwards, look over, and that's when I see my grandma start fucking walking towards me. Like, and there's like 1.5 feet of snow out too. And I'm like, I start tweaking because I'm like, there's no way that's my fucking grandma. Because all my grandparents live either fucking 2 towns away or in whole other states. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here during the 20 minutes that I'm at this gas station during school? And sure enough, it is her. She's had 2 fucking knee replacements, so she's doing a fucking speed waddle through the snow all angry over to me. One wrong move, she's gonna flip like a fucking pancake, career-ended injury like D. Rose and fuck up her knees. So I'm sitting there trying to fucking suck as much air into my lungs as I can so I don't blow out this fucking blinker, and I'm also trying not to cough. So she fucking walks over to me, and all my friends are fucking behind me, and I'm just sitting like holding in this hit. She's like, are you fucking smoking, Owen? And I'm trying not to have any fucking smoke around. I'm like, no, I'm not smoking. And some smoke's like trailing out of my mouth. She's like, I see the smoke. I'm telling your dad. God damn it. Owen just starts getting pissed, fucking yelling at me and shit. And like, when she was walking over too, forgot to mention this, I had like the pen and the 2 vapes in my hand. And so some sleight of hand shit, I fucking slipped the pen to like whoever fucking owned it. I get the vape from one of the other friends. I fucking slipped that shit in his pocket, put mine in my pocket too. So I had nothing in my hands anymore. And then she sees the fucking smoke trailing out my mouth. So I'm like, it's fucking over. It's over. She's like, yeah, no, I'm telling your dad. Starts walking back to her car, and I'm like, oh, hell no. Turn around to fucking, like, just talk to my homeboys, feel defeated. They're not even there. They disappeared. I didn't hear them walk away. I didn't hear no crunching, running, nothing. They just straight up dipped. Left. I was just a lonesome boy. So then I start fucking walking back to school, and I start thinking, with the generational hater shit my grandma is on telling my dad, I couldn't be the cool grandparent one time, I'm like, you know what? She might fucking tell the school. So I had to throw my vape away in the trash can, walk into the school. I walked in there. Lunch wasn't even over yet. I just sat against the wall with my fucking my arms around my knees, just like shaking. Like just staring, just like 1,000-mile stare, just knowing I'm about to go home and get grounded as shit. Some of my friends even came over to try and talk to me, and I couldn't even move. They pushed me over. I was just laying on the ground, laying there silent. And then, as it turns out, when Christmas rolled around, the only reason she was even at that gas station was to get me and my brother a gift card to the gas station. And she just purchased the gift cards, was driving away, and saw me take a fucking blinker. Was not a fun experience. Completely forgot to mention, my grandma didn't even know it was a pen. Like, my grandpa smokes so much, and she still thought it was just a vape and told my dad that it was just a vape, and I got in trouble for just a vape. My finals are over and in the grade book at my school, which means I can finally tell y'all about how I got saved by the grace of God during one of my finals. So, for those of you who do not follow me, I'm a senior in high school, and I don't give a big fuck about school. Like, I pull up there with my headphones on every day. I do the bare minimum. I just clock in and clock out. My fucking classmates probably think I'm a school shooter off the way I act, but that is besides the point. We're pulling up to the end of the semester this school year, and all of a sudden I look at my grades, and I'm failing hella classes, and I'm like, looks like I need to pull off the academic comeback of the century, which I thought I had to do last year. I raised 5 Fs in 1 week last year, because I do the bare minimum. The shit's easy, but I just do not want to do it. And so we're pulling up to the end of the school year this year, and I go and talk to all my teachers, and I'm like, hey, like, what can I do to raise my grade? And basically all these motherfuckers just started edging me. They're just like, nah, basically you pass your final, you pass the class, you fail your final, you fail the class. And so we're like 3 days away from the end of the semester, and I'm like,
Just got past these finals, I guess. So what did I do besides go home and not study a single page of any class I had? And then I pulled up to school. And so the way my school works, I have half my classes one day and half my class the other day. So 2 separate days for finals. I pulled up for my first set of fucking finals. I fucking passed all of them. My English class, I even passed by 0.05%. I have a 60.05 in that class. I don't even know how the fuck I passed it. But then I pull up to my second day of finals. And so I go through all my classes. I'm doing just fine. I get to my last final for all my classes. And they hand out the fucking Scantron shit. And I'm like going through it. I think I know most of the answers. And I get to this one question. I'm just sitting there like, fuck, giving that one like scratch in your head like you don't know what the hell is going on. It's exactly where I was at with this final. And then randomly, that's when this fucking idiot, or at least who I thought was an idiot, trips and fucking falls onto my desk. And then he just hits my desk. And when he hits my desk, I'm like, what the fuck? But this dude dropped a gum wrapper with all 40 answers lined out 1 through 40, A, B, A, B, A, B, like fucking all the way down this gum wrapper. He just drops that shit on my desk. And the second I grabbed it, he got up and went back to his desk. This shit happened so quick, I couldn't even see who it was. And like I mentioned before, I don't talk to a single soul in this class, so I don't know who the fuck even would have done this for me. And then so I see that. I'm instantly like, no, I'm trusting this with my whole entire heart, everything in me. This would not happen if it wasn't for a reason. So I start changing all my answers to this shit. And honestly, about fucking half of my answers were completely wrong from what was on this fucking sheet. And so I fucking go through, fill out all those answers. And I'm like, no way did this shit just happen. So I go to turn in my fucking Scantron. And so I'm like looking through the names of the other students. I find one of the kids' names because I don't know anyone's name in that class. I see that. So I go over to him. I start yelling his name. I'm like, hey. Finally, he looks over and he's just like, what's good? And I'm like, did you do that shit? You put that on my desk? He's like, what? I didn't do that. And then the smart kid behind him was like, nah, bro, that was me. And I'm like, you told me the smartest kid in the class gave me the answers to the final? I almost broke down in tears. It felt like God himself sent down an angel. It felt like I'd been transported into the separate dimension where I was actually winning in life. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on or what to do with myself. And I found out the smartest kid fucking did this. I was like, thank you. You just saved my fucking life. Because that's how I knew that I would have probably failed this final since he definitely got 100% on that shit. But I didn't change all my answers to his. But I was like, no fucking shot. So I was genuinely tweaking after that. I'm like, no way. So I go to walk out of the class just because like I needed to text someone about this. I just needed to tell someone that this shit happened. And so that's why I walk into the bathroom, run into my homeboy who had that fucking same class like a couple periods later. And I gave him that fucking gum wrapper and he used the same exact answers to pass the final too. And that's the only reason I even fucking passed the class. Like I still cannot believe this shit. This is how me and my friend framed this chick for posting 2 girls, 1 cup all over her social media stories back in 7th grade. So it was 7th grade, and my homeboy's mom had never let him have a phone, so he was always trying to figure out how to get one. And like this one chick we both knew was just like, yeah, no, you can buy my old phone off me. Like I haven't used it in years. As long as you have money and a way to get out to me, phone's yours. So my homeboy went, picked up that phone, and he was hyped. He finally had a phone. And so probably like the next week after this happened, he comes to my house, and he's like, bro, I got to show you something. He shows me that he's logged into every single one of this chick's socials, like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. If it was on that phone, he was still fucking logged in and she hadn't been on it in years. And so I'm laughing at that. I'm like, damn, that's kind of funny. So you can like see all our texts. He's like, yeah, dude. And so night goes on, we're curious young boys in middle school. So one thing leads to another. We decide to watch 2 girls, 1 cup, see what all the hype's about. If you've seen that video, you know that there is no hype behind it. You watch that shit and you're just like it's just not good, So we're watching this shit, looking at each other like every 5 seconds, giving each other a side eye. Then one of us gets the bright idea to screenshot, screen record, and post this on every single social media page of hers that we have access to. So we're sitting there laughing our asses off, just scheming about what's about to happen. So we fast forward through all the worst parts. And if you've seen the video, you know that there's a certain scene where they get a cup and they take a bunch of laxatives. They fill this cup up to the brim, heaping over like a fucking ice cream sundae. And then they proceed to lick it like it was an ice cream sundae. So you best believe we got every angle of that scene, got the worst ones we could find, screen recorded, clipped them, got everything. But we weren't done just yet. We proceed to go onto each individual social media platform, into the settings to the story. Unblock every single person that was blocked from the story's view. I'm talking friends, family, siblings, parents. Fuck, if it was your 2nd grade teacher, I don't care. They are seeing this. So we're sitting there scheming, just getting ready for this. We unblock everyone, hit post. And so we can see all the reactions people are about to have to this. So we're sitting there fucking with our journal just all happy, like ready to see these fucking replies. And it's like 10 o'clock at night. So we see the views just like going up. And like there's some screenshots on a couple of platforms, but not a single reply. And so we end up just going to sleep. There's not really any fucking replies, nothing. Wake up the next morning to a chain of fucking like text messages on her Instagram account, and fucking like she had an apology posted on her stories like she was Travis Scott after the fucking Astroworld incident. Like it was crazy. She got grounded as fuck. Everyone at school thought she was weird. No one believed that she fucking didn't post them because there was nothing saying that like anyone logged into the account, like no notifications on her end, and she didn't know the phone still was signed into it. And it was like just laying dormant for years, so she had no clue. And I never spoke to her after we got that phone. Like I don't know how she's doing now. I mean, I checked her Instagram like 2 years ago and she completely shaved her head, changed her name, and like it was just clearly that moment was just like a turning point in her life, and it went downhill from there. But funny story.